Exicom is a power solution company with over 20 years of experience in designing, engineering and manufacturing. We produce various kind of power solution products for different sectors like telecom, industrial, IT and different markets. We are also into lithium-ion based battery solutions for specific applications. And about my role in the organization, I'm heading the operations in Exicom, and I take care of various functions like procurement, supply chain, production, material service, PPC, quality, IT, HR, etc. etc. So if you see that being a 20 years old organization, we have been working more traditionally and conventionally, working towards the simple methodologies of the sourcing strategies, be it like the competition as well as the negotiation. So those thought process of getting 3-quote analysis or talking to the suppliers, having face-to-face meetings and trying to negotiate as much as we can. And so we thought that why don't we give it a try to something which is different, and that is how we thought that let's use some of the technology part and try to see if we can get SAP Ariba tool, which is giving a platform to all our suppliers to come on board and see that how transparently we can discover something which is like really very exciting price for us. So SAP Ariba has helped us a lot in terms of making our entire procurement process really awesome. So to just share with you that we were actually trying to take a final decision, and Feb and March of 2017 was the time when we were just trying to finalize. And once we finalized, we took the license from 1st of April 2017 for 1 year, and we have also taken the services of Cloudway to monitor and to drive this entire process. What we believe is that it's a platform, and a platform, if it's available, if we are not playing and if we are not utilizing the platform to the fullest what we can use, then there's no use of taking that platform. So as we were like all geared up, it took around 24-25 days for the deployment, and immediately after the deployment we started shooting up one or another the auctions, and started floating multiple RFPs with multiple suppliers. And to share with you some data points, I think in the last 3 months, which is approximately 12 weeks, we have conducted around 20 auctions, which is like every week we are conducting around 1.5 auctions. So it's like around 4-5 days we are conducting around one auction, and we have routed around 40 CR of our annual spend through SAP Ariba till now, and more than 200 parts we have already auctioned. And there are different categories what we have utilized. Especially we have focused more and more on the mechanical categories of the parts, because that is one category which is having more as a part of the design and specific to our requirement. And apart from that, a lot of services what we had done, especially like security and housekeeping was the recent one. Even the freight forwarding, CHA services, all these things we have already routed through SAP Ariba. And out of this 60 CR what we have 40 CR what we have already routed, we have actually got significant cost down. We have got around 15% cost down from this, from my current buying cost to the L1 costing. And now there is a lot of discussion which is going on with the suppliers, which is basically what we call as a post-bid discussion, and we are targeting to maximize this approximately 15%, which contribute to around 6 crores of cost down, which is really huge in terms of our business. So SAP Ariba of course has given us a lot of benefit using this platform. Apart from the cost down and savings what we have achieved and what we are actually gearing up to achieve in near future, what is important for us is also to streamline the procurement process specific to the sourcing activity. So what exactly the thought process we had carried, that we should actually make it as a platform where all the partners, all the suppliers or the prospect suppliers, they can come and do their bit in terms of getting a chance to win that bid. So there is a lot of benefit which comes as a part that when we see like in a very traditional model we sometimes feel that okay, these are my limited source of suppliers, and anytime whenever there is a new requirement comes, we attend to naturally we attend to move towards those set of suppliers, because we don't discover multiple suppliers and for whatever the kind of the requirement we get in terms of the different commodities. So the process is something which is really important, which has helped us in terms of setting up the process. Another thing, the way we utilize the SAP Ariba tool, that is also really very different. The different part is that we of course we initiate the RFP, we share all the design documents, whatever is required to all the prospect suppliers, but after the bidding is completed, we also invite few suppliers, be it the L1, L2, L3, and even sometimes the H1, H2, S3, to come for a post-bid discussion. So apart from the unit cost bid process, post-bid actually get into a discussion of zero-based costing. So getting into a zero-based costing to understand that how the differentiation is happening from L1, L2, L3 and H1, H2, S3. For example, why L1 is L1? Until unless we don't get into the zero-based costing, we don't understand. And we have also seen that there are multiple times when the suppliers don't understand and they somehow does the misquote of the particular bid because of anything which they have not understood. What exactly makes us to understand as part of this, the parts real cost discovery. So this is actually the price discovery model. Say for example, one particular part, one particular item or service, whatever we are procuring, a supplier has L1 cost is like 50 rupees, L2 is 100 rupees, L3 is 105, and L4 is 108. So we come to know that 50 rupees is not the real cost. The L1 is not the real cost. Real cost is actually L2, L3, L4. So we know that okay, the cost is coming closer in the range of like 100 to 110. And then during the post-bid discussion, we discover a lot of things like okay, so it's a knowledge which we gather. I have always personally believed that all our partners and suppliers are our best teachers, because they teach us, because they are the commodity expert and we are just the buyers, but they are day in day out into that particular commodity, whatever the product or services they give it to us, in terms of they sell it to us. So that's how I think we more and more we meet to the suppliers, we learn a lot. So that is how SAP Ariba has given us a lot of capability in terms of streamlining our process. As far as Cloudway is concerned, so when we were actually taking the final decision of going ahead with SAP Ariba, so SAP Ariba gives us the licensing. It gives us a platform. It's like a ground of a cricket, and Cloudway comes more as a part like if there is no kit, you can't play. So it's a bat and ball, and if you don't have the kits available with you, you can't play. So it's only the ground what SAP Ariba provides. And why I'm saying like this, because until unless this is an activity which everybody has to drive it over and above their routine activities, which is like more as a part of the daily transactional operational activities. So getting into, say for example, one dedicated consultant in your office, and you spend like 1 or 2 hours with him to design, to do a lot of spend analysis and start planning more and more about how we can, which are the different categories we can bid, get more and more suggestion from him, and trying to understand that which are the categories you can just go and start putting on the reverse auction. I think the best part, I'm always in favor of doing supplier research. So there is a lot of research which is required for every strategic sourcing activity, and which we found was missing in our organization, because people are more involved into so-called the procurement activities and have less time in terms of finding out the new suppliers for the strategic sourcing. So research of the suppliers, identify the new prospect of the suppliers as per the need of the organization, was actually a very you can say a area which was actually an area of concern for all of us. And that is how I think once we we signed the contract with the Cloudway backend team during the time of the RFP process, and they do a lot of RFI exercise, finding out a lot of suppliers and all. And I still remember, I think third or fourth bid of the mechanical parts, and there were like 45 suppliers who are participating, and I was like, wow, that's how so the beauty of every reverse auction, the chances of getting more and more success on the reverse auction is the more number of participants, because more number of participants creates a good competitive environment in that platform. So that's how I feel that without a consulting firm like Cloudway, SAP Ariba, it's difficult. I won't say it's impossible, but it's difficult to utilize only the licenses. So that's how Cloudway has helped us a lot. I would say much more satisfied. I think the way the entire team has worked, including the Cloudway as well as the procurement team, I think with a lot of collaboration, a lot of data sharing, and it's not an easy task to do that. So I think both the teams has worked together, and that's how we are seeing such kind of a significant result.